Okay, so I am going to attempt to try and teach this lesson as a Zoom lesson. It might be, I wrote it as a classroom lesson, but we probably will be able to turn it into a Zoom lesson for right now. So, good morning, students, or good afternoon. I think I'm making this at 12 p.m. But today we are going to be learning about sloths. And I cannot wait to hear about what you guys already know. But first, we're going to talk about what our objective is and what we are going to be able to accomplish by the end of this lesson. So, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to paraphrase an informative article. So I want you guys to say it out loud. I will be able to paraphrase an informative article. And then the students will repeat out loud. And now I want to talk about what the word paraphrase and informative mean. I know that we've gone over the word paraphrase before, but I just want to make sure that everyone has it so that we know what we're doing going forward. So then at this point, I would allow a student to discuss what paraphrase means, which in my own classroom we have gone over this, but if students don't know, I will let them know what it means. And then the word informative, I'm not quite sure that they know, but then I think I would talk about how info, the first, I don't remember if that's a suffix or not, but the info and how they could use that first part of the word to determine that it must have something to do with the word information. So there will be information about something in this article. So I left my notebook. Let me get my notebook first. Whoopsies. Okay, because this is I need the notebook because it's going to help with the next part. I just want a visual just to show what I will be doing. So we are going to start off with creating a KWL chart. I keep saying QWL chart. I'm not sure why, but we're going to start with a KWL chart so that we can talk about what we already know and what we want to know about sloths as we are going through this article. So we're going to start with the K and the W first. And I'm just going to write that out just as a visual. And I would do the same with my students. Put it up on the board or put it up on butcher paper so that they can have it throughout the lesson. So then I would ask the students, what do you guys already know? Maybe they know that sloths are slow, which that is something I think most people might know. They might know where they live, which I'm not even quite sure where they live. I think maybe in like the rainforest or in a forest. I don't know, rainforest. So maybe that is a few things that students might know, probably not too much since they aren't native to the United States. So there's probably not too much that they know, but who knows? So then we're going to do the what they want to know portion. So maybe they want to know what they eat. What do they eat? That's a good question. Let's see. What else? Maybe students didn't know where they live. So where do they live? They live. I'm not quite sure what other questions students would come up with, but this is what we would do in the beginning. And then maybe I might not be able to turn my screen, but I can probably just show. So in the article, within the article that I found on Scholastic, there is a video about sloths. So it kind of just teaches a little bit more. I'll just play it so you can hear it. Let's see. Probably
hanging.
So this is
sloths.
The video.
What's that furry creature hanging out in the treetops?
So in this video,
Is it a
it's
monkey?
going to talk about
No.
the different
Look a
species
little
of
closer.
sloths. It's about a 3-minute video, so I would play that for the students just so they can get more of an idea. Sorry, my allergies. So they can get more of an idea of what a sloth is and what they do, and this will kind of give them the background information that they would need for the article. So then we would read the article, and I'll read a little bit of it for you. I was thinking of just having students take turns. That seems to be what works best for our students when they're reading. They like to participate, and I think it's just good practice for their reading. So hanging tough. Rescuers use a sloth sporting event to help save one of the world's slowest animals by Stephanie Warren Drimmer. And then there's a picture of a sloth. Oh, actually, so I think then we could talk about pictures, because there are pictures on here with captions. It says 3-toed sloths. They have 3 claws on their front limbs, have coarse, mostly gray fur. That's good to know. So these are it's more information that the students are learning. Ready, set, go. A group of competitors takes off from the starting line, but they don't seem to be in much of a hurry. Why not? The athletes are sloths, one of the slowest animals on earth. And then, of course, I would probably talk about how the students were right, how they're really slow. The race is part of an event called the Sloth Ironman Games. It's held every October at the Toucan Rescue Ranch, a wildlife center in Costa Rica. Sloths face off in games including a climbing race and a flower eating contest. The animals don't always cooperate, though. Sometimes they go completely in the wrong direction, says Zara Palmer, who runs the event. Maybe I would talk to the students here about why do they think they're going in the wrong direction? Do they train these animals for the sporting events, or do they just put them in there just for fun? I would also probably ask the students why they think that they have the sporting events, because that will lead to them thinking more and more about the end of the article, because the end of the article starts explaining why they have the sporting events. So the Sloth Ironman Games includes activities that help sloths practice skills they need to survive in the wild. So here are 3 main events. Strong Sloth Challenge. So that's a sloth hanging itself up on a branch. 1 meter dash. Devour the flower. And then the winner. So it gives a picture of the winner from 2018. The games are fun, but they have a serious purpose. Organizers want to spread the word about the dangerous sloth face in the tropical rainforest where they live. Then I'd point out that we've figured out where they live. All the sloths in the wild in the Ironman Games were injured or orphaned in the wild. Rescuers in Costa Rica are caring for them and working to save their forest home. So then we could talk about maybe some current events. I would like to talk about the huge fire that was in Australia. We could talk about how that has affected animals. That probably kills a lot of habitats, a lot of animals, even humans in their homes. So we could talk about that. I just think that's relatable, because most people know about what just happened, since it's so recent. The slow life. Sloths are known for their super slow lifestyle. They spend most of their time hanging upside down in the forest canopy in South and Central America. Sloths eat, give birth, and even sleep in this position. Their powerful claws help them grip onto branches as they move slowly through the trees. You can tell the 2 main types, 2-toed sloths and 3-toed sloths, by the number of claws on these front paws. And then maybe you can ask them they knew that sloths didn't have 5 claws, or if they knew that there were ones with 2 or ones with 3. We can talk about that. I'm so sorry. I have really bad allergies. I can't even breathe. Scientists think sloths' extreme slowness helps them survive. The forest is full of predators like jaguars and hawks. So that word predators is actually bold. So we could talk about the definition of predators. But those animals have a hard time spotting sloths in the treetops. Tiny plant-like organisms called algae grow on sloths' fur. That gives them a green tint and helps them blend in. And I think then I will ask them, what is the word for that? For an animal that blends into its surroundings, so that's camouflage. We could talk about that. Unfortunately, sloth's habitat is disappearing. And then habitat is bolded, so I think we should pause and talk about that word as well, because they should know it, so we can just do a little vocab check. People are cutting down the trees to make room for buildings and roads. On the ground, sloths are often attacked by dogs or run over by cars. Sloths now face a lot of new dangers because of humans, says Sam Troll. She's the founder of the Sloth Institute, an organization that rescues sloths that have been affected by deforestation. It's Troll's mission to keep these slowpokes safe. It's really sad. I had no idea. So yeah, I can get students' thoughts on that, on deforestation and, you know, humans moving in closer and closer to habitats and just into animals' habitats, and how they're just kind of taking over. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the balance of that, because we need room, they need room. What's the balance, you know? Oh, there's a little map right here that shows South Africa and Central America. And then there's a thinking question: where on the map would you expect to find rainforests? I think that's awesome. We don't talk too often in our class about geography or social studies, none of that. So I think that would be really good just to have a discussion. I think that would be really cool, because it shows where the sloths are, and if they remember that sloths are in the rainforest, then that's where they're more likely going to find the rainforest. So that's cool. Okay, sloth snuggles. Troll moved to Costa Rica in 2007 to study primates like monkeys. Instead, she fell in love with sloths. Many of the sloths at the Sloth Institute have been badly hurt. Some have fallen from trees, others have been injured by electric wires or attacked by animals. We could talk about electric wires. Should there be electric wires in the forest where other animals are living? That's a good question to talk about. The baby sloths that have lost their mothers need a lot of love and care. In the wild, they hold tight to their mother as she hangs from trees. They cling to mom 24 hours a day, says Troll. To mimic this experience, Troll often straps baby sloths to her chest. Aw, that's sweet. It can take years to teach sloths the skills they need to return to the wild. Workers place sloths in a large outdoor pen to help them become comfortable in the forest. Sloths gradually spend more time outside the pen until they're ready to stay there for good. All right. Oh, okay, so we're nearing towards the end. I wasn't sure. Troll's team is helping sloths in other ways too. Where there are gaps in the canopy, workers are using ropes to connect the trees. Sloths can climb this sloth speedway to stay safely away from the dangers on the ground. That's super sweet. The Sloth Institute also works with the Toucan Rescue Ranch to raise money to protect sloths. The annual Sloth Ironman Games are part of that effort. The ranch streams the games online and encourages viewers to donate to support sloth conservation. Every year, a new group of sloths compete in the Sloth Ironman Games. Organizers are excited to see what will happen this year. You never know who will win, says Palmer. Sometimes they go straight for the finish. Other times they want to take a nap. So that's the end. Pretty awesome. I love the article. I think the students would really like it too, because it's not an animal that we talk about often. So that would kind of be my beginning. And then right after, I would have the students discuss with me or with a partner. Actually, no, with a partner. Yeah, so if they were on Zoom, it would just be by themselves. But if we were in a classroom, I'd have them work with a shoulder buddy or their face partner to discuss the main idea of the text and to find at least 3 supporting details with their partner. We work on that all year long, finding the main idea, finding their supporting details. And because they're always working on they're always using graphic organizers, I'd probably have them do something similar to what I had them do last time. So the topic sentence, and then rather than all of this, I would just have them write 3 supporting details underneath, and then we will share, and then I will make sure to write them on the board so that the students have this information in their head so that they can look at it and use it as a resource. And then afterwards, we would complete So this is the middle section of the lesson. We complete the KWL chart. So what have we learned? We learned that sloths live in the tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest. We learned that they are in danger. Oh, I forgot to mention during the article we will discuss what deforestation means. I know a lot of students won't know what that means. They're in danger due to deforestation and also humans moving into their habitat. Humans moving into their habitat. So we learned a few things, and there'll probably be more things. I would of course ask them to look back into the text, look back even at the supporting details, because I know that that's anything that we write in our chart, anything that we write in our graphic organizer, that's going to help them a lot with these questions. And me and my cooperating teacher are always making sure to let the students know this is going to be helpful for you and this is why. So, and then after we complete that, after we've discussed the main idea, the supporting details, and then we completed the KWL chart, we are going to use this website that I found through the daily learning log through my research. They will create a poster for either saving the sloths or promoting the sloth games and then stating why. So, and if they have another topic in mind that has to do with sloths that they would like to create their poster for, they can totally do that. But their poster has to be promoting or advertising some kind of idea or some kind of event. And if they have another topic in mind, so I have those 2 topics that they can do it on, and if they have another topic in mind, it would just have to be approved by me. I know students are super creative and they could come up with all these ideas that maybe I didn't think about, so that's okay as well. And then my requirements for the poster would be there needs to be a who, a what, a when, where, and how. So however way that means. So who, most likely the sloths, right? What, saving the sloths, the sloth Ironman games. When, so if students need to research, they can research when the next Ironman games is coming up. When, they could say right now sloths need to be saved. Where, so tropical rainforest, right? Or they can mention the Toucan Ranch or the Sloth Institute. Tell us where it is. Costa Rica, whatever. They need to have a where and they need to have a how. So how can they save the sloths? How can they go and watch the sloth games? So that is a requirement in their poster. They also need to have at least 1 picture, and they need to make sure that they have a title. So their title can be super creative, or it can be Save the Sloths. It can be Come Watch the Sloth Ironman Games. Anything like that. It can be whatever they want. And the poster is online, so it's like a multimedia 3D poster, which is perfect for Zoom. It can be perfect for the classroom as well. And I can share, if it was in the classroom, I could share it from my computer and project it onto the smart board or whatever we have at the time. I put a link so you can see ideas of posters. It's really awesome. And so then when the students are done, we will just have a closing and we will share our sloth posters, share what we learned, and talk about saving the sloths, why it's important, talk about the sloth games, who's gonna go to it in the classroom. Maybe we can, if it's during school, maybe we can even play it, and that'll be something the students can look forward to watching. So yeah, that's gonna be the lesson.